The firelight flickered violently as the ritual pressed on, the flames casting grotesque shadows upon the villagers gathered in eerie silence. At the heart of the sacred ground, red and black dolls lay upon the dirt, each imbued with the weight of a quarrel waiting to be settled. The villagers, their faces obscured behind hand-painted masks, watched with bated breath, their souls shielded from the piercing gaze of Baron Samedi. The air was thick with the pungent mix of rum, sweat, and something otherworldly, a scent that did not belong to the realm of the living. The Hugon, trembling under the force of possession, convulsed violently as Baron Samedi took full control of his mortal shell. His laughter spilled forth, a deep, guttural melody that sent chills through the gathered crowd. Four men took up the sacred drums, their rhythm pounding through the earth, while the Hugon's wives chanted haunting voodoo cantillations. Baron Samedi tilted his head back, guzzling fiery rum like water, his throat burning with unholy fervor. Then, with an unsettling grin, he crushed the empty bottle between his teeth, chewing the shards as if they were nothing more than brittle candy. His voice, a sinister command, rang through the circle. "Bring them to me. A pig, a goat, a rooster." The animals were dragged forth, their cries lost beneath the cacophony of drums and voices. Without hesitation, he seized the rooster by its neck, his teeth sinking deep into its flesh. Blood gushed forth as he drank greedily, then spat the crimson liquid in a wide arc, marking the ground with an ominous dripping circle. Next, he reached for the goat and pig, his massive hands plunging into their bodies, tearing their hearts from their chests. The blood of the beasts ran down his arms as he drank and spat once more, his voice shifting into a language not meant for human ears, a dialect unknown to the living. Then, abruptly, he stopped. Silence fell. He lifted his arms high, commanding attention. The villagers froze. The air grew cold. A sinister mist slithered into the circle, whispering like 1,000 unseen voices. Then, from the void, it emerged, a shadow, a being of pure darkness. Its ember-like eyes burned through the smoke, its shifting form resembling ink dissolving in water. Baron Samedi stepped forward, his skeletal grin unwavering. "Begone, shadow! Your time is done!" But the shadow did not yield. It hissed, its voice like rustling leaves in a forgotten graveyard. Then it struck. The force sent Baron Samedi stumbling, his mortal vessel struggling against the impact. The shadow vanished only to reappear, landing blow after ghostly blow. The Baron reeled, his movements sluggish, his once mocking laughter tinged with strain. Gasps rippled through the villagers. Baron Samedi, the unyielding, the unshaken, was faltering. Desperation flickered in his glowing eyes. "A trade," he bellowed, arms spread wide. "I offer you a sacrifice." The shadow stilled. Silence. Then it spoke. "I accept, but I demand the heart of the purest, most beautiful youngest daughter of one of the Hugin's wives." A collective shudder passed through the crowd. Eyes darted from mask to mask, but the choice was already made. Among the Hugon's 6 wives, 3 had daughters of equal age, 17. The Baron demanded their presence. The girls, trembling, were ushered forward, their eyes wide with fear. The shadow studied them carefully. Then it chose Marabou. Her beauty was undeniable, a striking blend of dark skin, wavy hair, and the ancestral echoes of both African and indigenous Taino's blood. She was the Hugin's favorite, beloved by the villagers for her kindness and healing touch. But now she was condemned. Her mother let out a strangled cry, but none dared intervene. Baron Samedi seized Marabou's wrist. She did not struggle. There was no escape. With a gleaming ritual blade, he sliced her delicate palm. Blood pooled into a sacred bowl, the firelight illuminating its deep crimson hue. The shadow shouted, "She must be cleansed before the offering." Baron Samedi grinned, unsettling and wide. He dragged the girl away, disappearing behind heavy wooden doors. Silence stretched across the gathering. Inside the chamber, tears streamed down Marabou's face. She turned pleading eyes upon the Baron. "Please," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Let my dad speak to me one last time." Something shifted in Baron's gaze. For a moment he hesitated. Then, with a flick of his hand, the spirit withdrew. The Hugon, his body weak and frail, collapsed, his own eyes filling with sorrow. "Use your inner power, my daughter," he murmured, his voice barely above a breath. Then Baron Samedi reclaimed him. With a jerk, the Baron pulled Marabou closer. Her wounded palm was pressed against his chest. Suddenly, the air cracked with an unseen force. A surge of mystical energy exploded between them, crackling like lightning through the chamber.